What's up, guys? Happy Sunday. A very happy Greg, a very happy good Mike work here for our Sunday night watch along. The Lions were victorious. They are now 1-0 game away from the Super Bowl for the first time since I was only 14 years old when they got their asses kicked by the Redskins in the NFC title game back in '92. And now they are heading to San Francisco next week to play for a spot in the Super Bowl. The Detroit Lions, I will repeat that, the Detroit Lions are 1 game away from going to the Super Bowl. Will they get there? I don't know, man, but shit, I'm happy for my birthplace, man. Now we've got Buffalo and Kansas City. I'm sorry if I'm taking any of you guys away from that, but luckily it's about to be halftime in about 10 seconds here. And we have Buffalo up 17-13 over Kansas City. I'm rooting hard for Kansas City because my brother-in-law is from there and my sister was only 1 year old when we moved away from Michigan, so she has no reason to be loyal to the Detroit teams, and she is a big Chiefs fan and has been for a lot of years. So if it turns out to be the Chiefs and Lions in the Super Bowl, that's going to be really, really fun for our family. So I'm rooting for the Chiefs here, even though I think Buffalo is pretty heavily favored in this thing. If they can pull off an upset, that will be fun next week to watch both of these teams playing for the Super Bowl. So anyway, happy Sunday, happy watch-along Sunday, happy football day. We are here to knock out the final Royal Rumble of the 1990s. We've done them all of them. Now, in the 1990s, this being the very last one, 1990, and this was the very first showdown between Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior, which would lead to their WrestleMania 6 match in Toronto in the Skydome. And as a 13-year-old kid, this blew my mind to see these two face off in the Rumble, because back in these days, they didn't leave a trail of evidence or, give you any indication that something like this was going to happen. It was just like, boom, here you go, Superman and Batman, one-on-one in the ring. Have fun. And it was wild, man. Led to the Mania 6 match. And for a kid my age, was mind-blowing to see these two face off in the Rumble, and we are going to be watching 1990 today, so hopefully you guys are having a great one. Let me say hi to everybody here in the chat, like Tatanani, Garrett Osborne, Mike Rouse, we have Leo Whalen, we have the Juliet, who's on time, right on, we have... Hitting these channel members first, my boy, Zane G, always good to see you. George Morris dropping in the 10. What's up, dude? Hey, Greg, how are you doing? How is Tito? Royal Rumble 90, 10 out of 10. What are we doing after Royal Rumbles? WrestleMania's February pay-per-view, Tammy Sitch release date, January 31st, 2040, Dark Side of the Ring Season 5. That's a lot of info there. We're probably going to jump right into WrestleManias after the Royal Rumbles. This will be the final one, and next week I'm probably not going to be here for a watch-along because I might be watching that Lions game with my family, so we'll probably skip next week, and then we will be into February, and I say we just start busting out these WrestleManias. We got to do some shitty ones this year. We got to do 2, we got to do 9, we got to do 11. We have to do WrestleManias like that, so we'll be jumping into those in February. Tito is right here sniffing. Hey, what are you doing? I don't want you messing around with that, all right? Tito's here. He's awake, actually, right now. Football's on the TV, and my Peacock is on the monitor. By the way, go to Peacock. You're going to want to go to Royal Rumble Season 3, Episode 1. Runtime, according to Peacock, is 2 hours, 41 minutes, and 49 seconds. So just go get yourself queued up over there, and in a few minutes, we will all hit play together. Timer below my face will begin to run, and then you can just sync up with that if you have to sit through any Peacock ads. This video on YouTube, however, will be presented ad-free, so hopefully that helps you out. And yeah, this is going to be a fun one today. Let's see who else is here. In terms of our channel members, Brandon McNeil, MJ Parker, JJ Legg is in the house as well. Good to see all of you guys. I also want to say hello to Rodrigo, Ryan Adams, Tony, Mike Witt. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike Witt, channel member, big, important channel member. I almost left out. What's up, Mike? You're here as well. And so is Tony. So is David Brown. Always happy to see you. We have Ram Venero in here as well. Ray Frand, Daniel Clark. We got Chaz Medeiros. We are Pro Wrestling, Tony Schiavone's second and final WWE pay-per-view. That's right. He would be gone by the time WrestleMania 6 rolled around. We have Vash Starwind is here as well. Anybody else that I might be missing? Hopefully I got all you guys. I think I did. And Spaz Phoenix is here with $10. Appreciate that. from our friend up north. Cheers, Greg and chat. Please check out reviews of Hard to Kill and Impact, as well as an early edition of WWE Last Week, now available on Spaz Phoenix YouTube channel or searching Spaz Phoenix Podcast. That's the way to do it right there. Just throw that shit in your search bar. He'll pop right up. Check out everything new going on in Spaz's life over there. And yeah, Hard to Kill review will probably be pretty interesting. What's up, JJ? And what's up, Brandon Barnes? Good to see you guys as well. Right on. Right on. Okay, well, I think I'm pretty much ready to go. We can fire this baby up if you guys are ready. By the way, cheers and happy Sunday. Thank you for being here. If you're watching football and you're trying to do both, like I said, I do have the game on here. We will be eyeballing the rest of this. And yeah, and then we'll take a week off. And then after that, we'll be kicking off these WrestleManias. And we'll have to figure out which one we're going to start with. It's got to be a shitty one, I think. But that might be a job for the channel members in a YouTube poll. We will see. Well, okay. I am ready to start. Royal Rumble 1990. Haven't watched this one in a while. I did do a review of this show few years ago. I want to say I might have even been back at my old apartment. So it's been anywhere between 3 and 5 years ago is when I did a review on this show. So it's been a while since I've watched it. So it's going to be fun. Going to be fun. All right, let me get my timer trigger ready, my play button trigger ready, and I am queued up on my end if you guys are. Ready to rock? Here we go. Countdown from 3, and then we're going to hit play. 3, 2, 1, play. All right, we are good. Yep, we're good. Oh, these old, awesome, classic intros. Loved them. This is cool how they kind of all come floating across the screen. I mean, for 1990, this was probably pretty painstaking editing, to be honest. For what they had back then. Like this. Haku! So this is only the second pay-per-view Royal Rumble. Would have been the third overall. They did a dry run of this on the USA Network back in '88. When Hogan was still in his first run. That Hacksaw Jim Duggan won. And then the following year, they turned this into a pay-per-view. Brainchild, I believe, of Pat Patterson. By the way, it's not, while we're going through all the participants here, it's not in the best of shape, but I do have the VHS to this. Elizabeth bought this for me. It looks like it's an old rental, like it's in one of those clamshells, like they cut out the box art and stuck it in here. So it's okay. It serves its purpose. And then the original, yeah, good old Coliseum video. Rumble 1990. All right, here we go. Rumble's starting. Hacksaw versus Big Boss Man. Beefcake, Beefer versus Genius. Sharpshooter versus Figure 4. Oh, and the Bushies versus... God, the Rougeaus were still around in 1992, huh? Oh, wow. All right. They did not have the Royal Rumble music yet. This is some early shit here. I think next year in 91 is when they would have that classic Rumble theme that would finally start. That was also used for the Royal Rumble. Or I'm sorry, for SummerSlam. Unless this is dubbed, who knows? Maybe it's a Peacock edit. Is today the anniversary of the show, Chaz? And I didn't even know that? No shit. Look at that. How's that for time? I didn't even plan that, and it just worked out that way. Let's check the date on this. Yeah, January 21st. Holy shit. 24th anniversary. No, I'm sorry, 34th anniversary. Look at Jesse and Tony. They would reunite in WCW a couple years later and call shows together. We talked about that. I think it's a very short list of a duo that is called pay-per-views in both WWE and WCW. I think it's Shivani and Jesse, Jim Ross and Paul Heyman, and I don't remember who else. That might be it. Look at Jacques with the beard. He looks good. He's about a year away from being Mountie, from being Mountified. Because that's what happens when you become a Mountie, you become Mountified. That's what it's called. Look it up. They're all American boys. Oh, Raymond. I'm such a Raymond mark. If my sister wasn't already married, I'd hook her up with Raymond Rougeau. He's the best. Fucking stud, too. The Marching Morons. I'm sick of these two teams fighting. They wrestled at WrestleMania 5, and the Bushers beat them. And We All Pro Wrestling, help me out if you have any knowledge of this, is... Oh, I'm literally about to ask We All Pro Wrestling if he has any knowledge of how long the Rougeaus were around officially after this, because I don't remember seeing them, and you already said it up at the top here. This was Ray Rougeau's final televised WWF match. That's sad. I always liked Ray more than Jacques. Yeah, and this is the end. We'll never see really Jacques in this form again. He would be a Mountie, and he'd be dressed up in that red shit during his Mountie and Quebecers run. So this is just kind of honestly a pointless match for pay-per-view. I don't know why we're doing this. This could be primetime wrestling with 2 commercial breaks for all I care, but it's on the Royal Rumble and it's opening the show. Back in these days, Royal Rumble was still just if you win it, you win it. That's it. No title on the line, no title shot on the line. The WWE champion won this thing 2 years in a row. Or actually, no, 1 year. Hogan wasn't champion when he won in 91. Tatanani Tony called SummerSlam 89 with, I think, also with Jesse. I'm not sure if what he did, who was calling Survivor Series 89, but I know Tony definitely called SummerSlam 89. Yes, thumbs up buttons would be appreciated, Juliet. Thank you. Paulie, I know, man. Very happy Greg over here. I'm not used to it. I don't know what it's like to cheer for the Lions. I've never given a shit because my home team sucks, and they always have. The last time they were good was that good year in 91 behind Scott Mitchell at quarterback, Barry Sanders, and went to the NFC title game, got thumped by Mark Rippon and Art Monk and the rest of the Washington Redskins. And that's the last glimpse of success I think that team has had. And I was 14, going on 15. Freshman in high school. Freshman. 2 weeks, or maybe 1 week before Ric Flair won the Royal Rumble and won the title. That's how long it's been. Ramon. Where are you going? To see Ramon? No. Raymond Rougeau. He should be Razor Raymond. Oh, and he's biting him in the ass. Oh, and he's biting the referee, too. Just fucking Cousin Luke out here just tossing salads. Okay. Or Butch. You think after 35 years I'd know which one's Butch and which one's Luke. Butch is dark hair. Luke is light hair. That battering ram is such a stupid move. Even as a kid, I thought it was stupid. I'm like, how does that hurt? Like, that's some of the stuff in the WWE back in the early days was, you know, when you can make a 12-year-old roll their eyes, it's got to be pretty dumb. When even a kid's going, oh, brother, you know? How good can it really be? Hello, Mike765. Damn, you've been with me for a long time. Right on, man. Good to see you. Welcome. Happy Royal Rumble watch-along. I tell you what, if we keep doing these for another year or so, we're gonna have to circle back and rewatch some again. Maybe some of those early ones, like from, I think we're in year number 3 now of doing watch-alongs. So maybe some of those early ones before I really kind of perfected how I like to present them. Maybe we can go back and, you know, do some of those at some point. Because eventually we'll run out of pay-per-views to watch. Jacques with a nice little screech. Raymond. I like how Butch climbs to the first rope to salute the crowd. I'll just stop here on the blue one. No reason to go up one more. Yeah, hug Jimmy. Yeah, sometimes all you need in life, if you're feeling down, is a hug from Jimmy Hart. Shit'll clean you right up. Watch the headbutt. Mike Rouse, it is time. We are overdue for a WCW one. If we can't squeeze one in before WrestleMania, first order of business after WrestleMania is to do at least 2 in a row. So we'll bust those out for sure. Maybe we can do one in February, since we really have all of February and March to get to Mania. We can do a Super Brawl or something like that, maybe. Bushwhacker tactics. You would think that the Rougeaus would easily beat the Bushwhackers. I was a fan of the Rougeaus when I was a kid when they were baby faces. I liked them. Oh, nice kick. Garrett, is today National Hugging Day? Hug life. I think it is. Ooh, Kansas City's got a completion here. Does it count? I hope so. Come on, KC. Rooting for you there at midfield-ish. Yeah, it's tough to beat them takeovers, man, from the 2010s. Shit, we'll watch one of those. I mean, at this point, some of those are coming up on 8, 9, 10 years old. We can start thinking about doing those. Yeah, Jesse always has his logic and his arguments ready. All right, come on, KC's moving. Right on, Chaz. And it's your birthday, anniversary of the show, and it's your birthday. Jesus Christ, everybody wish Chaz some birthday love there. Happy birthday to you, man. Curious how old you are. Are you old, crusty, and sexy like me? Or are you super young? Like, for example, Garrett or Ken. I don't even know who wins this match. I really hope it's not the Bushwhackers, but it's probably going to be. I mean, look at Jacques. Like, Jacques is a big guy. He's a big guy. He's in shape. I'm just really surprised he let Dynamite Kid bully him to the way he did. I mean, finally he got him with the roll of quarters and the chiclets, but shit. Wrestling fan like Raymond has always been known as tough as shit. Why is Jacques not tough? Like, all the Hart brothers were tough. There wasn't, like, one weak brother. Like, they're all grow up tough, you know? You'd think the Rougeaus would be the same way. I think maybe the weakest Hart brother might have been the one that passed away, Dean, because I do remember Brett in his book talking about Dean kind of having, like, different aspirations and priorities, you know, got into film and promoting and doing things like that. So maybe he had more you know, artistic aspirations in life and, you know, didn't really want to do the wrestling. But for the most part, you grew up there in Calgary in the fucking dungeon with Stu as your dad and a shitload of brothers. You gotta be tough. And I just think growing up with Raymond as a brother, you'd also have to be tough and would at least not take any shit from Dynamite Kid. But that's just me. Like, what do you think Jacques is? 6'2"? 260? He's big. Tatanani, oh, you're 57. Damn, Mike, oh, good. See, I don't feel so bad now. Here I am talking about my old ass at 46. It could be worse. I could be Tatanani or Mike, right? And I could be super old, like crazy old, like really, really crazy, obnoxiously old, like them. Unlike me, who's just, you know, still in my 40s. So, lucky me. Oh, there, Chaz, you are 45. Right on. You are just behind me. By about a year and a couple of months. Right on. So you're a 70s baby just like myself. You know, on Tuesday, it's the 40-year anniversary of Hulkamania. You will be getting a mic drop that day. It's already ready. And that is wild to me. It blows my mind that it's been that long because I remember when he won the title. Smitty, isn't Tim the Toolman Taylor a Detroit Lions fan? Yeah, the show Home Improvement was set in Michigan. So, yeah, he was always wearing Lion shit on the show. What does the back of their... Does the back of their gear say... It says Fabuleux? Is that French for fabulous? It must be. I mean, there's a lot of buy things I am, but lingual's not one of them. Did I just mean to say that? Butch is explode. Butch with a hot tag. A bushwhacker getting a hot tag is just something else. It's like just a little shuffling of the feet, waddling around, delivering your offense. Like, they don't fly. They don't have any energy. They just waddle. Yeah, we are. Oh, 40th anniversary of Black Saturday. Black Saturday would be a good Dark Side of the Ring episode. I think it was on that list floating around. I just don't know if the list is valid or not. They got Jimmy. Jimmy's like, don't rip my gear because I have to use this for when I manage Dino Bravo. Oh no. Oh no. What are they doing to him? Oh, they're just gonna take his clothes off? Oh my god. Yeah, please win. Ah, damn it. I've never really loved the Bushwhackers. I'm a much bigger fan of sheep herders than Bushwhackers, but we got ourselves a 15-minute Bushwhackers match to open up a pay-per-view. Like, what the F? Like, who asked for this? That's good. I'm glad. I hope that is an episode because that's one they could probably fill. Oh, that's going to be it. How are you going to get beat by the Bushies at WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble? The battering ram. They won with the battering ram at WrestleMania, too. Or WrestleMania also. Oh, Danny Davis gets a lick. That's nice. Danny Davis. The fact that they tried to just forget that he was an evil referee wrestler is hilarious to me. Like, oh, we're just going to stop mentioning it. He was only out of the ring for less than a year by this point. I think by early 89, he was still in the ring. So Davis is back to a refereeing capacity. There may be an obscure interview segment that exists with Danny Davis explaining that he's going back to being a referee that not that I know of, or anything that I remember, or any explanation on TV. Oh, Jacques with the bump into the ropes. The vicious battering ram. Give me a break. All right, we're going to Mean Gene, I thought. That's right, because the previous year, DiBiase bought his number. Ooh, KC's up.
Allegedly, no. Last year, little man, I drew number 30. Well, some suspected there might have been a little chicanery, but certainly that wouldn't happen this year with all the added security.
Ha, Jack Sharp, that's a tough one, man. Probably something from the Attitude Era.
Security? You call that security? I call it downright Gestapoism. I didn't even have the...
I was at a few wild Monday Night Raws. I'd probably say November 24th, 97, Monday Night Raw, 2 weeks after the screw job. Ringside. I'd say that was my favorite show and the one I have the fondest memories of. Where is it?
Oh, you couldn't have gotten the worst wrong. This is number 1.
Haha, DiBiase, number 1, bitch.
Let me tell you something, little man. It doesn't matter whether I draw number 1, number 2, or number 30. What it means is I'll be the first man in the ring. I'll be the last man in the ring. And it's a golden opportunity for me to show all you 9-to-5 nickel and dimers out there that I'm the greatest wrestling talent in the world.
I don't work 9 to 5.
And I'll win it. Things are heating up here at the...
I work 5 to 9. That Mickey Mouse, Jesse Ventura, and you, Tony. All right, so this is going to be the Genius against Beefer. Oh, a poem from Leaping Lanny.
Behold the barber, what's his name, with scissors in his hand, intellectually inferior and totally outmanned. He wants to give my genius hairdo anesthetic augmentation, so I can be the joke of this World Wrestling Federation.
Lanny Poffo, you are so fucking weird.
But I'm the world's smartest man, and Beefcake's double dumb.
Okay. I just still don't understand if you're a genius why you're wearing a cap and gown. So you graduated. I fucking graduated. It's a big deal. Doesn't make you a genius. It just makes you a graduate. Beefcake's fucking gear and look and music. I was a big fan of Beefcake, and this is going to be setting up. I believe this match is used to help set up Beefcake and Perfect at WrestleMania. And then right after that, Beefcake would have his accident. And this is kind of the end of Brutus Beefcake in the WWE. We're down to our last 5 months. And then he would be back briefly in 93, but most people don't count that, and neither do I. Like Beefcake goes to work on his own attire with them hedge clippers. Man, those hedge clippers too, those Beefcake hedge clippers, like, we used to have those in, like, my garage, like, growing up, and I would always have them and just pretend to be Beefcake with them. But those things are not a toy. So if any of you have hedge clippers in your garage right now, do not go down there and pretend that you're Brutus Beefcake. Because I know you want to, and I know it's tempting, but it's just unsafe. So please don't do it. That's right, the Genius did beat Hulk Hogan via countout on Saturday Night's Main Event. I watched that as it happened. The Genius. Oh my God. Jesse just said Genius was lighting the loafers, but I'm not really sure if he was. He just seemed like he was. He does. Sometimes his mannerisms, he does look like Randy. Some of the things he did. Like, you could really see it. Why didn't he ever use those to cut hair? I think a couple times he's actually tried, comments from me, but they probably wouldn't cut hair very good. You know, they're more for like branches and hedges and stuff, so I don't even know if they'd cut hair. And if they did, I'd worry they'd kind of pull on your, you know what I mean? Like once you crunched it, if it didn't cut it clean, it would just yank on it. But I can think of at least one time where he's gone up to somebody and clipped their hair with those. Oh, genius. Yeah, Alan Carter. I kind of thought that Beefcake would have another chance. I mean, in 88 is when I thought he was going to win the IC title, but he didn't win it from Honky. And then he got replaced in the SummerSlam match. So maybe with Perfect, it would have been a chance. But I'm not even sure, Alan. I actually think if he would have not gotten hurt and got the Intercontinental title feud with Perfect, he would have lost because he beat Mr. Perfect at WrestleMania. And I think that was their way of kind of giving Beefcake a win without needing to give him the Intercontinental title tournament victory that Perfect would win after the Warrior forfeited the title. So I think if Beefcake would have ended Perfect's undefeated streak at WrestleMania, I can't see him then also beating him for the Intercontinental title. So it probably wouldn't have resulted in a title win for Beefcake, but you're right. It's the second time that he's lost an opportunity for the title, because I do believe the plan was to do Perfect and Beefcake at SummerSlam, and that's when Kerry Von Erich was brought in to do that instead. So twice, 2 SummerSlams that happened to Beefcake. And at the time, they weren't informing you what was going on with Beefcake on TV. So the only way to know that is if you were like a newsletter subscriber all the way back in 1990, which I was not. But I remember as a fan having the conscious thought, where is Beefcake? Where did he go? And then finally, months went by, and there was a write-up about him in the magazine where they updated fans on what happened. There was like a picture of him, and he definitely looked different. And I was like, holy shit. And they just kind of briefly described what happened. And that was it. It was just pretty sad the way that all ended. I have a lot of fond memories of Beefcake turning babyface and what led up to that, watching all that play out on TV. Oh, Genius is all crotched up there and contorted. The genius. Oh, Buffalo is in scoring position here. 1st and goal. They are down 3. Come on, hold them to a field goal, Casey. Yeah, good point, Garrett. Beefcake did win on April Fool's Day. Yeah, Smitty, the injury was a facial injury. He was, I guess, walking on the beach and somebody parasailing came in at like 100 miles an hour and rammed both of his knees right into Beefcake's face and caved his face in. Complete reconstruction. He told us, oh, it makes my eyes water thinking about it. He told a story about how they had to like lift up his nose just to get him so he could breathe when like he was like the first responders and stuff. I'm like, I just couldn't even imagine. So he had complete facial reconstruction. I cannot believe he looks normal. Like, he doesn't even have a mangled or disproportioned face. He pretty much looked the same. They really did patch him up well, considering the severity of it and considering how he probably shouldn't have lived. Oh, man, it's just one of the gnarliest just ways you can be injured, you know? And such a freak accident. Something, 1 or 2 second delay or, in your day would have prevented that, and it's crazy. Oh, Beefcake, big kick out. No, Beefcake I don't believe is in the Hall of Fame. I don't think, unless he went in this most recently, which he may have. He actually might have, if he went in, it's been super recent. But he definitely didn't go in any of the mid-2000 classes. Part of me feels like I remember him going in last year. Yeah, I think I'm right about that. Because I remember what he was wearing. 2019, there you go. Yeah, I knew it was the podium setup. Which I hate. Wasted a lot of time. Put him in the sleeper hold. I mean, Beefcake, he got out of it. Beefcake became the barber all because of what went on between Adrian Adonis and Roddy Piper. That gimmick was spawned out of that. That was what was cool about that storyline, is it, Earl! Is it created a whole nother character. Earl took a bump. That was a bump by Earl, and now Genius has got no referee here. 1,000 likes, and I do my next watch-along dressed like Brutus Beefcake. Complete with those pink gloves. Sleeper. Oh, and there's going to be no referee. Paulie, Greg, you own a yacht. Where would you go first? The ocean. Based on my location, probably go south, down the coast of Mexico. I want an omelet chef named Raul, where he lives on the boat with me and has omelets ready for me whenever I require them. Oh, yeah, Beefcake. It took him a while. Finally, he's talking to the crowd for an hour and a half. Finally, he realizes, shit, no referee. I better go get my scissors. And let's cut the genius's hair. Everybody, I think he cuts Genius's hair at some point because I know he gets a haircut at WrestleMania. That's what it is. And this is real smart, Beefcake. You got your back turned to the, there we go. Are you going to cut it? He is going to cut it. Holy shit. I've never seen him start at the top before. Oh, wow, he is doing a number on it. Here comes Perfect. To get them scissors out of the ring, man. He's gonna hit him with the perfect plex? Hilarious. Why would you hit him with the perfect plex? Genius has got one crazy mullet. He's almost got like a flat top mullet. He could be a nasty boy. Look at him. No, he's got that chair. And this is a pretty good feud. I remember when it kicked off, like I was intrigued. No title on the line, no nothing, just two stars feuding, and this is a long program because it was kicked off here at the Rumble, and they would work Mania, where I think Beefcake would finish the job on the hair of the Genius. Is that Shane in the ring? Is that a super young Shane McMahon? He is young. He's probably 18 years old in this, if that is him. I think I saw Joey Morella and Danny Davis show their faces. I think it's Shane. Yeah, that's Shane, all right. Look at him. Look at young Shane. That is, this has got to be one of the earliest shows I remember seeing Shane. Maybe late 89. Yeah, Shane Stevens. That's who he is. That horrible haircut. There's Mr. Perfect. Followed by another one. All right, looks like Buffalo scored there. It is 24-20. Yikes. It was a fancy chair, wasn't it? It was all sparkly. Tatanani, it is 24-20. Buffalo. Looks like, I think it's still third quarter. Oh, look at this. It's Andre. That's my Andre impression.
This is one event you must admit every man for himself. No, you got it wrong, Mooney. It's not every man for himself. It's every family for himself. Wait, Rick Rude, what number did you draw? That's none of your business, Mooney.
None of your business, Mooney. Mind your own fucking business, Sean Mooney. Now, I guess Andre and Haku are just... Are they tag team champions yet? They're about to... If they're not tag champs yet, they're about to be. Andre and Haku. Because they lose their titles to Demolition at WrestleMania. And I know their run was short. Look at Haku talking. Is it supposed to be like that? What the fuck? You want a peanut? Dissension in the ranks. Come on. Look at Andre. Good job, Mooney. Stirring the pot. Asshole. Look at this. Sunday, April 1st, Skydome. And at this point, you had no clue. It would be another couple of hours until you would know what the direction for WrestleMania 6 was. Because, like, at WrestleMania 5, leading up to that, the whole year you knew it was going to be Hogan and Savage. But WrestleMania 6, here we are in January, and Hogan's been feuding with Perfect a little bit, but that wouldn't be a WrestleMania main event, so who the hell is he going to work with? Like, you really didn't know until a little later. Then we were like, okay, that's why you're putting this shit in a dome. Because doing a dome WrestleMania with Hogan with not really a credible challenger would have been weird. I mean, think about it that year. Who would Hogan have wrestled?
Well, there's concern because, as you can see, rugged Ronnie Garvin is wearing a brace on his leg. Now, why would Ronnie Garvin need a brace on his leg? Well, why would Rick Valentine need a brace on his leg? Everybody knows the Hammer suffered an injury about 6-9 months ago. It still bothers him. Right.
Right.
Look at this. Garvin did not waste any time. It's just you knew it would be like this. Absolutely. This is an I quit match.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is a submission match. I think this is the blow-off of everything that these guys were doing, right? Everything, all that shit with Ronnie Garvin was taking place in 89 when Garvin became the referee and all of that.
Neither can I, but that's how the match ends. We have a cover, forget it. No pins here. Garvin has to be reminded of that. So it's going to take a lot of punishment to come out with a win at this.
What was the pay-per-view? What was the pay-per-view that he was like the ring announcer and the rev? We just watched that. Was it Survivor Series?
Maybe to try to put a submission hold
No, I think he was on the team of Survivor Series too. It must have been SummerSlam 89 or something.
As you said, Tony, that's the key to this match. You can pin your opponent 8 to 10 times. That won't win you the match. You've got to make him submit.
right to the midsection. The Hammer lured him into that corner. Oh, what a big shot. And again,
Big blockbuster movie of 1990. I would probably say Goodfellas or Home Alone. Yeah.
just cutting him down like a tree.
Look at these guys blow to blow against each other. Wow.
Ooh.
I'll tell you, Tony, it's shots.
I saw Home Alone in the theater in Michigan because it came out during the Thanksgiving holiday, and that year, that Thanksgiving, my great-grandmother passed away, and she lived in Michigan, so we were living in North Carolina, so everybody drove up for the funeral, and while I was there, I visited other family members like my other grandma, and she took me to see Home Alone, and I watched it with my grandma, Grandma Celia. She was the best. She lived to be 94. Died in 2010. Mm.
It really is. Garvin, he keeps going straight ahead. Picks him up. Picks one leg up, that is.
Oh,
Knocked himself over
punch.
with a jab, and that nailed it.
And there's what Valentine does best, and that's why he has the name the Hammer. Because when he drops that arm, that
Oh, we missed.
No need for the second line.
I never saw the Ninja Turtles movie. Never did. I never, that was a toy I never got into. I think I was just a teensy bit too old for it. I was kind of out of the toy action figure game after like He-Man and shit. And by the time Ninja Turtles came around, I had my wrestling action figures, but I just wasn't into Ninja Turtles. Never watched the cartoon, never played any of the video games, never had any of the action figures, and never saw the movies. So I am as Ninja Turtle illiterate as any human being can be. I feel like I just missed it. If I would have been like a year and a half, 2 years younger than I was, probably would have been all about Ninja Turtles. I just never got into them.
Valentine just picking his shots. Look at this.
Garvin trying to block off the Colonel, encouraging his men on. Here we go. Back and forth. Here they go. Garvin.
Garvin get the best of it.
Yeah, go Garvin. Look at Valentine. Valentine is underrated in the comedy department because he wouldn't even mean to do it. He had just some very weird sells, and he could sell offense uniquely. My favorite thing he ever did So Saturday night's main event. We'll get to it once we get to these Saturday night's main events again. Main event, like 1988, he fought Beefcake. Just a random match on SNME. Oh, he hit him with a pile driver, and Beefcake hits Valentine with a atomic drop. And Valentine, he like like in gym class when they make you do the arm circles, he like he bounces up and down and does these like arm circles, and you're like, what the hell is that? It was hilarious. And Valentine was just so rugged to see him like do something like that. Like Valentine, it was almost like he wasn't one of those guys that like liked pain or anything, but you could really, really pound on him and he'd largely be unaffected. And in a lot of matches, it would almost fuel him. And at the time, Garvin was using the sharpshooter as his finisher. So it's sharpshooter versus figure four, and they're both wearing shin guards. I played like 3 or 4 years of soccer when I was a kid, and I remember it's the only sport I ever had to wear shin guards in. Hey, I was about to say, why is Joey Morella not pinning? Garvin is down here, but it's a submission match. I love these, early days I Quit matches. WCW or NWA did a couple of them too. They were way far. Oh, there we go. Their figure four's locked in the middle. Garvin. Joey Morella's right there. He is smiling. Oh, it's because the shin guard's not a fit. That would still hurt like shit, though. I've been in the figure four. Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember screen capping that for my review. I'm pretty sure if you go back and look at my review of this show, you got a screenshot of Garvin doing that because I had a memory. Small package, doesn't matter. You can't quit in a small package. Oh, wow. Look at that strength by Valentine, picking him up in a backbreaker. I feel like that's a much more effective use of the backbreaker than the torture rack. I feel like this feud would be better in the NWA, Kind of like how Piper and Valentine had that dog collar brawl. This would be much more grittier and probably a tiny bit bloody if it was in the NWA. Choking him. Maybe that's how he'll do it. He'll just choke him until he submits. Michael Kumo. Appreciate the $2. Mr. Perfect should have won this Rumble. Maybe I'd agree if the plan wasn't to do Hogan and Warrior. If they needed Perfect to challenge Hogan, then I for sure would have had him win. But I do understand the point that why does Hogan need to win it? He's the most over guy in WWE and wrestling history pretty much at that point. And he would win 2 in a row. Like, he doesn't need to win it this year. He's champ. Oh, Garvin's going to wrench back on Valentine's leg. Oh, and Valentine has very awkwardly positioned knees right now. Mm. All right. They are tied up in the ropes. I got to go get another bottle of beverage. Tony Schiavone, back in those days, kind of was a pipsqueak. He did look like one. Oh, I didn't realize Kansas City scored. Holy shit, it's 27-24 now. All right, right on. Oh, now we're brawling on the outside. That's what I like to see. 1 second. All right, back. Sorry about that. All right, this man. I think we still have Boss Man and Hacksaw coming up too before the Royal Rumble, right? At least this one has a little bit of stakes. At least this one's an actual feud. Oh, he's in the 3-0, baby. You know, Ronnie Garvin's father and grandfather were also named Ronnie Garvin. So the boys back in the day used to like to call him RG3. Little known fact. Don't look it up to confirm it. Just take my word for it. I wouldn't lie to you. Oh, I probably did. Thanks, Smitty. Did I miss a super? Shit, Mike. What's wrong with me? Appreciate that $5 earlier that I somehow missed. Oh, I missed one from Michael Kumo, too. Oh, Jimmy Hart's readjusting. Oh, he's taking it off. Oh, he took it off of Ronnie Garvin. I thought he took it off of Greg Valentine. Earlier on, I got to answer this super from Mike Witt, who sent us $5 earlier. Wonder if Rock went to your restaurant when he said he was going to go get something to eat and sit at the head of the table. One more thing, go Lions. Well, based on where the arena was, he's probably going to be in the more downtown area, which is not where I am. But that would have been funny if he was there, and I would have missed it because I wasn't there either. I would have comped his dinner. Totally on us. Yeah, so now he's got the figure 4 on, and Jimmy has jacked the shin guard of Ronnie Garvin. And Michael Kumo's got a legend for us about the Rumble. Legend has it that Mr. Perfect was supposed to win the 90 Rumble, but made up for Perfect by having him win the Battle Royal they had on Saturday Night's Main Event a few months later. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe. And then they also put the Intercontinental title on him right after WrestleMania. So it would have made sense for him to win the Rumble to give him momentum, but maybe they also just wanted to keep Hogan as that strong star, especially if Hogan's going to go into WrestleMania and lose. He needs to be stroked, you know. He needs his praise cup filled every day. So they had him win the Rumble just to give him a big pay-per-view win before doing the honors. It's probably the way the politics went, if I had to guess. Ooh, Garvin struggling to put weight. Yeah, see, you won't find it. You can't, unfortunately, you can't verify this fact that I'm telling you, because if you look up RG3, all that other stuff is going to come up. My favorite conspiracy theory ever is the one where the Disney made the Frozen movies as a way to bury the Google results of Walt Disney being frozen, because there was always the rumor that Walt Disney, they froze his body. And that was a rumor even from when I was a kid. So they say that they created the Frozen franchise to now, whenever you Google Disney Frozen, nothing about Walt Disney being frozen is going to come up. It's going to be all that fucking movie. And all of its sequels. None of which I've seen, by the way. Oh shit, we got a fumble on the goal line here. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? The ball is out. Looks like Kansas City. Is he down? I feel like he's down. I feel like he's down before that ball comes out. Let's hope that he is. Oh, Valentine off the top. Commercial on the football game. Garvin can't stand. This Bushwhackers and Rougeau's match and this match are exquisitely long. There, take the other one off. Neither one of you guys need this shit. Now it's Lego y Lego. The Hammer Jammer and the Heartbreaker. The Hammer Jammer. I love that. Greg Valentine's quite the homophobic piece of shit in modern times, but I really did enjoy him as a performer back in the day. He wasn't flashy in the ring, no finesse whatsoever, the charisma of a cucumber, but was just still super entertaining. And there it is. He whacked him in the head with the Hammer Jammer, I think. Now he's going to cross over, sharpshooter. He's cinching back on it, and that's it. Valentine gave up to the sharpshooter, wouldn't you? Right on, and that is it. While Valentine licks his wounds and Garvin celebrates, I'm going to go say goodbye to Elizabeth. I'll be right back.
Some kind of action here at the Royal Rumble. Of course, the random drawings have already taken place, folks. The numbers 1 through 30 drawn by various people that are going to be participating in the Royal Rumble. We've got some people who are very unhappy about the number they've drawn. Mr. Perfect, I don't know what your frame of mind is right now, but before we talk about your participation in the Royal Rumble, I want to talk about what we just saw here earlier on. A singles match between Brutus the Barber Beefcake and the Genius, and you obviously interfered. If you want to call that interference, you call it what you want. But I'm sick and tired of it every time Brutus the Barber...
All right, I'm back. So sorry about that, guys. Mr. Perfect promo, just in time. What was the ruling on this fumble, by the way? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Damn, they could have taken a big lead there, huh? They blew it. Oh, that sucks.
What was going through your mind? I'll tell you what's going through my mind. Victory, the want to win. And that's exactly what I do every time I get in the ring. And I've turned some heads now.
So they're showing a whole replay of the chair attack on Beefer earlier on.
You're another excuse why Mr. Perfect is going to go all the way to the top in the World Wrestling Federation. You know, hair grows back, but Beefcake, your rib, they may not grow back
Ooh.
the right way. That was totally uncalled for.
They might not grow back the right way.
Sure, you're going to have to be over the mic, so put is number 30.
Oh, he drew the perfect number too, didn't he?
Pulled it right out. And I'm going to tell you something right now. As I'm standing here, the Royal Rumble is going to be just like...
No, Leo, I've not read Elmore Leonard. Detroit guy, huh? Right on. I am only a few months away from, I'd say, less than 6 months. In about 5 months' time, I will have lived in San Diego longer than any other city I've ever lived in. So this is becoming my home, you know. I spent 13 years in one town in North Carolina before moving to another town in North Carolina where I spent 10. But 13 years is the longest time I've ever spent anywhere, about 13 and a half. And I've now been here for about that, 13 and 4 months. Yeah, a lot less than that, probably 2 months, 2 or 3 months. So not only do we get Hacksaw and Boss Man, we're getting this whole brother love thing. This must be a Sapphire and Sensational Sherry deal because they're going to be setting up for the mixed tag at WrestleMania. So, okay. Bruce Pritchard. The Queen. Here she comes, Sister Queen Sensational Sherry. That's beauty, that's class. Hell yeah, it is. I loved in WWE, and of course Sapphire was there now too, and she was bringing in a different personality, but really the two women like Elizabeth and Sherry, what I liked about them both is they were so different, you know? Sherry was wild, a little more rough around the edges, you know, where Elizabeth was reserved and, you know, pure beauty, you know, where Sherry was honestly probably a little more fun, to be honest, but Elizabeth was still my woman. And so we're going to get some Sherry and Sapphire thing here. And then Sapphire brought a different element because she was more fun. You know, Elizabeth was so reserved and Sapphire was not. But she wasn't nasty the way Sherry was. Radiates boldness. Guys, does Bruce Pritchard radiate boldness? Would you agree? I would not. Peasant. Yeah, Sherry's Hall of Fame speech was good. I enjoyed it. No class. So they're going to call, what, Sapphire a peasant here? What a bunch of assholes. Sapphire's awesome. No finesse at all. All right, Buffalo's punting. That's good news for Kansas City. Should text my sister and be like, I'm rooting for you. There's a picture next to the word peasant. Let me guess. You know what, Brother Love? If I had the choice to hang out with Sapphire for a day or you, I'd pick Sapphire every time. All the things we do, First thing I'd want to do is go bowling. Then I'd want to go out to some, like, restaurant in her neighborhood and, like, meet a couple of her friends. And then maybe if there's time, maybe a little pool, shoot some pool afterwards. Be fun. She's got rhythm. I forgot how they found her. Juanita Wright was her name. I want to say she was something like a bus driver or something, or something like that, and they found her. But she was a perfect valet for Dusty. They're making fun of her clothes. I kind of like her clothes, Sherry. They look comfortable. Looks way better than what you're wearing. Like, Sapphire literally looks like, I'm about to beat the shit out of both of you. And I'm pretty sure I could do it. That's right, peasant. Even in 1990, calling somebody a peasant was... Mike Witt, hell yeah, I'm streaming the Rumble, bro. The link is already up. It's up, man. Tomorrow's Raw link is up. Predictions link is up. Saturday's watch party is up. It's all up on the channel right now. Sister Queen. See, it's up. That's it. It's ready. Go find it, Mike Witt. There you go. Oh my God. We got Dusty over here. That reminds me of Summer Teeth. She got them summer teeth. Some are here, some are there. Okay, so now they're fat shaming Dusty and Sapphire. We're about to have a big boss man match. Andre the Giant's already had an interview. Where was their fat shaming? Paulie, Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl, huh? I kind of hope they do. I hope it's Chiefs and Lions. I cannot believe this pay-per-view has time for this. Aside from the Royal Rumble itself, nothing else is happening. There would have been no reason at the time to buy this pay-per-view. I did not. I did not watch this show on pay-per-view that year. But every match is matches you could have done on television. Yeah, fine. See, that's all I did. Look at that sell by Sherry. Sherry's always business. She flew halfway across the ring. Up, here comes Macho Man. The Macho King. Look at Sapphire. He's got her by the hair? Jesus, brother love. There's Shane, Dave, Pat Patterson, Joey Morella. The common man. Common trash. Dusty's not even that big. He's just Dusty. It's the way he's always looked. Oh my God, Bruce taking bumps in there. Body slam? Beating up a man of love. Boom, bitch slap right to Bruce's stupid face. Jesus, and Bruce takes a hell of a bump there too. Yeah. Let's get Too Cool and Rikishi out there. Join the dance party. I wish I could shake my hips the way Sapphire shakes hers. She's so good at it. I can't do the booty shake like that. And I got a good booty. But I can't do like she can. I've taken classes. I've tried everything. Cannot get the Sapphire booty shake down. No matter what I try. Look at her. I miss Sapphire. I liked her as a kid too. I like this whole act. Look at her. Yeah. Look at her go. They could have just done Dusty and Sapphire dancing for the first 2 hours of this. I would have been fine with it. I'm like, all right. It's better than Bushwhackers and Rougeaus. I'll keep you guys posted on my Sapphire booty shaking abilities as they progress. And once I get it down, we'll do it right here live on stream. I like that Sapphire's missing a shoe. Look, she just lost one. And she's like, ah, fuck it. Bitch slap. I mean, that one slap took out Sherry. That bump is crazy. Oh my God, Bruce. He's lucky he didn't get hurt on that one. All right, now we got Mooney with Hacksaw.
Boss man is truly one superstar who lives by his own law. You have to approach this mismatch a little bit differently than I don't have to approach anything.
What? I'm sorry, Hacksaw. Turn on your closed captions here if you want to understand Hacksaw.
This is the land of the free and the home of the brave. And it was just a matter of time before you crossed Hacksaw Jim Duggan's path, a man will face you.
He reminds me of like Sean's Google Eye. Or Perry Saturn. The Rock was like, you got one eye going this way and the other eye going the other way. Oh my God. So fucked up. I mean, it's kind of a cool matchup. I mean, a big ass kicking, all business. One Southern boy, one, where's Hacksaw from? Jersey? Or no, he's from, Hacksaw's from New York, Glens Falls. I always think of Hacksaw as from Texas because of all the Mid-South stuff, but he's from New York. Moment of silence for Jive Soul Bro. Soul Bro. A Jive Soul Bro, and you always lying to your friends. I forgot the lyrics. And you never get nothing in the end. I love that song. No music for Hacksaw yet. Did Hacksaw work WrestleMania 6? Yeah. He worked... I was going to say Earthquake, but I think he worked Dino Bravo. Hercules worked Earthquake. All right, we got a billy club versus a 2x4. Two by four is not really a great weapon. I mean, you can't really get a grip on it. I mean, it's hard to handle, you know. At least with a billy club, you got a good firm grip on the thing, and you can whack a bitch with it. Yeah, this is just punching. Two good old boys. You're an Alabama. You come from New York. You killed a good old boy. There's no way this is not going to trial. Oh, what a bump. Boss Man could always do those like leaning kind of bumps into the ropes and spring off. He did crazy shit for a big guy. And it wasn't like he was super agile like a Bam Bam was. Like, he wasn't out there doing moonsaults or anything. But he was still extremely physical, like Sergeant Slaughter kind of was. Like, he can move and bump and pretty light on his feet, all things considered, given his size and stuff. Look out, Hacksaw. I feel like, oh, yeah, it's like Boss Man's coming in.
You know, it seems the referee is laying back and just letting them go at it. Well, that's what he's doing. He's too mad. You know, and there's times that maybe a referee should do that, Tony. Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? No, I'm just saying. Let them settle their differences. Be a little bit lenient.
All right, Buffalo's got the ball back. They are down 3. Second and about a yard. 40-yard line. 7 minutes left. Yikes. I'm nervous for my sister. She's got to be biting her nails over there. I should text her. So, you hanging in there? It's Gurry. Wow. And what I just remembered here is the Boss Man is like probably literally days away from turning babyface, because he would go into WrestleMania 6 as a face, and he's still a heel here. So they're going to do the angle on TV with Million Dollar Man and Jake and the belt, and they put the belt in the snake bag and all that shit. And that somehow turns Boss Man babyface. Almost like a Hercules situation when Bobby Heenan sold Hercules to Million Dollar Man. Hercules was like, F that, I'm not gonna be your slave. So I think Slick kind of did the same thing with Boss Man. Boss Man would be super busy at SummerSlam later that year, double duty, working a match and being in Hogan's corner. Yeah, Shivani, Jesse's kind of winning this debate here. He's got to have his cuffs and his stick at all times. Yikes. Come on, 3rd and 10. You got to hold him here, KC. Hold these bitches. Get him. Get his ass. All right. It's going to be... Oh, no. Okay. Oh, man, that was almost a fumble. Buffalo, I believe, recovered, but it's going to be 4th down. So they're going to have to kick that bitch and hope for the best. I don't think you go for it in this situation. Oh. Slick, love to see you, man. Slick is still on my media shelf up here. He's just no longer in view. You can't really see him. But he's up there. Slick will always be there. Look at Boss Man selling them punches. Yeah. Oh, God, did they go for it and get it? It's 1st and 10 now? Son of a bitch. They fucking went for it and they got it? Oh, they're gonna at least tie the game then. Holy crap. It almost looked like he was wrapping that leather thing around his neck. Yeah, he was. I would be so uncomfortable wrestling in that shit that Boss Man is wearing. I got this strap across me, a fucking seatbelt. My shirt's all untucked. I'm sweaty. Light blue is not a good color for a heavy-set, sweaty man. I also wouldn't have been able to be a wrestler, I don't think, because another one of my kind of pet personal peeves, I don't like smelling other people and like being near them. I had enough of that, in the locker room and, anytime I played any sports or was around other dudes showering or being naked or anything like that. I hate being close to somebody and smelling their breath. I certainly don't want to touch or feel their sweat at all. And I just don't think I could have done it. There's so many times you have to cut a promo with somebody right in their face and you're smelling their stank-ass sour cream and onion chips breath. And I would be like barfing. I wouldn't even be able to, I'm like, God damn, get it. I don't like other people's smells and sweats and shit like that. And I certainly don't want to have my face in their chest hair. Above all. So I think I'm not sure if I would have survived the business. I mean, you got guys. Hangman Page was drinking Swerve's blood a couple weeks ago. Or a couple months ago. Nice. Right hand. Look at Boss Man. Oh, you're going down from this one, Hacksaw. Oh, no. He took him off. Oh, what a bump. Oh, man. A lot of Boss Man's bumps look really uncontrolled and unprotected. He hits so hard. God, we got 2 minutes left here. Fuck. If Buffalo scores a touchdown, it's going to be over. Not looking good for Kansas City, I don't think. Get off my ass, Danny Davis. We've been on opposite sides of Survivor Series teams before. Fuck off. Oh, big clothesline. Down goes Hacksaw. At the time, I wouldn't be surprised if this Orlando arena was pretty new. Because the Orlando Magic were a brand new team. Oh! Come on, Hacksaw. He's getting up. Thumbs up. Oh, now they're both down. It's crazy. There was no titles were on the line here. All the champions, I believe, were in the Rumble, right? Because the champs are, I believe, Demolition, unless Colossal Connections already won the titles. I don't think they have, but I guess it's possible. And then Warrior is IC, and Hogan is World Champ, and they're all in the Rumble. So all these matches are just matches. Slick went down, but he handed the nightstick to Boss Man. Boom, right in the ribs of Hacksaw, and to the face of Hacksaw. Oh, we got a DQ. Okay. I thought this was going to be a straight victory for Boss Man. Guess not. And Hacksaw wins via DQ. Now he's going to go in with the 2x4. If any of you are watching me and the and then Boss Man with that bump, let me see what he does to Slick. Oh, he's going to spank Slick with the... oh, Slick goes out. I was about to say, people watching me on a PC, like if you're watching me and the Royal Rumble and the game, like what's your setup? Where am I in this scenario? And what's on your phone? And what's on your laptop? And what's on your computer? So you guys are one computer streaming. My other computer is playing the Rumble. And my TV is playing the game. Like a thief in the night. Ah, nice. Big screen has got the Rumble right on. All right, WrestleMania 6, very early primitive advertisement here. Toronto, Canada. Skydome was pretty new at the time, too. The roof retracts. Isn't that April Fool's Day? Well, yeah, last year it was. April the 1st. All right, it is 4th and 9 here. It looks like Buffalo's going to be kicking a field goal. Kansas City needs to block this. Hey, look, guys, it's the Canadian earthquake. That's right, Warrior was kind of feuding with Bravo at the time. Bravo, you got a fucking zit or something going on the upper bridge of your nose there. Did he miss it? What the fuck just happened? He missed it. He missed it. Oh my God. Oh my God, he missed it. I gotta text my sister real quick. Wow. Yeah, well, it's official. Unfortunately, guys, no watch along next Sunday because I'm going to be busy watching two crazy games. Bad news, Alan. Why do I need tissues? Yeah, bad news. You got a bottom grill like I do. You didn't wear your retainer either, did you? Got to wear that thing. Otherwise, this will happen. Fuck yeah, they're going to just run this clock out and win the game. She put up her Travis Kelce stand with my little niece, who I think is giving us all the finger. I'm not sure. And yeah, I think it worked. They won. Look at Sapphire. They're going to come out in the Rumble now. Yeah, oh yeah. You're gonna strut and stroll, slam and jam,
So excited. We gotta take it easy. The wrong
rock and roll.
You know something earlier? We were about having to face each other. We know by now, but that's not gonna happen. There's 28 other guys we gotta worry about. Everybody get ready because the Rockers are coming next. That's right. Don't matter who it is. Powers of pain when we get our hands on you, but it doesn't matter. Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, the Rockers are coming.
That Marty Jannetty in 1990.
And we're gonna take care of business. That's right.
Hoe magnet. Dude's a pussy magnet. Walking pussy magnet. Every woman I've ever met always thought Marty Jannetty was the hottest person in the world. Which means I have been dethroned. It's Marty's show now. All right, I cannot believe the Chiefs just won. Mike Witt, $2. That's I have a very close friend. He is a Bills fan, and I did tell him I was going to root for the Bills today. I was lying to him. I do feel bad for him. He's probably drunk though, so it doesn't matter. Sorry, Mike. You like it, don't you? I do like it, Rick Martel.
This afternoon, nobody at the Royal Rumble, 30 men, nobody's gonna touch this beautiful place. Yes, I've got it all.
Rick Martel, you are wearing women's glasses. I at least should feel obligated to tell you that. You look like somebody who wants a water with lemon in a separate check. Oh yeah, for sure. I like how they wait for their cue. Like you get that 1 second of silence. It's like when some YouTubers go live, you see them standing there for like 7 or 8 seconds before they say anything. Ooh. Hello, murderer. Let me tell you something else, people. All right, tell us that. What are you going to tell us? Akeem, look at... Oh, my God. I cannot believe they did this to the one-man gang. Like, look at him. He looks ridiculous. He looks like a giant, overgrown pansy. That face. He didn't even say nothing. He just went... Ugh. Akeem was the stupidest gimmick in WWE history. Hogan, I'm sorry, Warrior, how much Aquanet was needed to get that hair to do that? I did not like the colored Intercontinental titles, y'all. All y'all did. I didn't. Even when Warrior was doing it, I'm like, why is it yellow? Why is it yellow? The IC, I mean, the IC used to be green back in the day, but still, just black strap, man. Looks the best. And I should have known the fact that Warrior's mentioning Hogan and mentioning that they might face off was interesting. Man, I love it. How butthurt must Fox News be right now, who has already listed Taylor Swift on their Al-Qaeda list for the unforgivable sin of encouraging young people to vote in the next election, because God forbid you don't want to do that. And they're probably really upset. That's sad. Sad for them. Sad for the Angers. So we know who 1 and 2 is. This is one of the fewer Rumbles where we knew that going in. DiBiase's 1, Perfect is 30. Unless these are all Coliseum video exclusives, and maybe the at-home pay-per-view audience didn't know that. Good evening, Macho King. The top of Macho Man's crown, I've never noticed this before. Have you ever seen the movie Flight of the Navigator? It's like an 80s movie. And the kid is like on a spaceship, and the thing that comes out in the arm and like looks him in the face and like talks to him, which I think Pee Wee Herman did the voice for, looks like that thing on top of Macho Man's head.
Macho King.
To watch the Macho King, yeah.
Roddy Piper and oh yeah, the World Wrestling Federation is one man.
Macho Man definitely doesn't have the Ricky Bobby problem of not knowing where to put his hands. He seems to not have that issue. Oh, Mr. Fuji. Oh, the powers of pain. I met both of them on WrestleMania weekend. It was fun. Taylor Swift's views don't align with the average Fox viewers' views. Yeah, no shit. Because they do not want people to vote. Because the more people vote, the more their chances go down, and they know that. Which is why they're so butthurt. The more and more people get out there and vote.
But that doesn't really mean anything, because there's still going to be a lot of hungry men out there. And hopefully I'll be one of those hungry men. The man that wins this match is not going to be the man that is the best wrestler, the best athlete.
The best wrestler.
It's going to be the man that will do anything. The man that will take that extra step. Do just a little bit more.
Jake Roberts and $1 Million Man was one of my favorite matches. And maybe even the best overall in-ring match on that entire WrestleMania 6 pay-per-view. When you really go, yeah. I'll shut up now. Brett and Jim are talking. Settle down, Anvil. Settle down. Take it easy. Yeah. Jim Neidhart. Yeah, baby. Oh man. No, I had to watch Anvil and Brett. That was important stuff. Yeah, she's a fun-loving pop star preaching peace, love, and kindness. So of course, it's going to go against everything them Christians are standing for. But yet, if she was peddling obscene, idiotic vaccine conspiracies to an audience of dipshits, Fox News would give her own show. Joe Rogan would be a Swiftie. Is he going to mention Warrior? I really wish I would have watched this on pay-per-view to see if 13-year-old me, or 12-year-old me, I wasn't even 13 yet, would have been able to see what they were going to do. Because I watched this on the scrambled feed. So I heard what was going on between Hogan and Warrior, but it didn't occur to me until right at that moment that was what the Mania match was going to be. Because prior to that, I don't even think I was thinking about it. Where now I'm thinking about people's Mania opponents in July. Who the fuck are they going to face next year? You know? Hogan, I'm tired of seeing you because I'm already doing a video on you right now for Tuesday, and I'm tired of you, so get out of my face. He's such a maniac. God, Hogan. Just grabs just a finger scoop of blow and just rubs it on his gums before every fucking promo. Like, my God. This guy.
Earlier, all 30 participants drew a number at random to determine the order in which they would enter. In just a moment, numbers 1 and 2 will begin the event. And every 2 minutes thereafter, another wrestler will enter the ring according to the number he drew. Remember, in the Royal Rumble,
Remember, everybody. Every man for themselves. Hey, look at the one in the blue. Did you see her? That's my favorite fan so far of everybody.
the one wrestler remaining in the ring after all 30 have entered will be the winner.
I remember in 1990 one of my friends that I went to school with died in the summertime. Dove headfirst into a lake, broke his neck, died instantly. And that previous Halloween, I remember hanging out with him, and he dressed as the Ultimate Warrior, and he was a big Ultimate Warrior fan. And that was like the Halloween of like, I guess, 88. And then he died the summer of 89. So he was already dead before Warrior like won the title. And I always thought it would have been cool for him to be able to see that. He was a cool kid, just freak accident. Shocked a lot of us when it happened. And I'm like, man, if he would have been around, his name was John David. If he would have been around when Warrior won the title, he would have tripped out. All right, so it's $1 Million Man and Coco. So he's now he's not using the pile driver theme anymore. The Birdman is fired up. Like, do they have to rent parrots every time they come to the town, or does Coco have to travel with Frankie? That big Hulkamania banner or beach towel or whatever it is in the crowd there, that's going to find its way in the ring at the end. And we are starting things off with $1 Million Man and Coco Beware. Every 2 minutes, somebody else enters the fray. What a wild, wild, interesting, creative match. So far, the only thing you're getting for this is a purse. No title shot, no championship. Nothing like that was on the line yet. I kind of think that's why SummerSlam kind of emerged as what feels like the number 2 pay-per-view, because the other 2 early ones of the big 4 were themed shows. Survivor Series and Royal Rumble. And not a lot was happening in those first few years there other than the Survivor Series matches and the Royal Rumble matches. Everything else was filler. It wouldn't be until like 91 when the title was on the line and changed hands with with Taker beating Hogan, and then 92, Flair winning the Rumble to win the title, and then things started changing after that. And there goes Coco already. So that's right. I remember this. I'm pretty sure DiBiase has a really good showing. He's here till near the end, I think. That's one. And he's got time to rest. Somebody said today, I think somebody tweeted me that, or maybe it was in the chat. Somebody said this is just a Coco Beware and DiBiase match with 28 run-ins. That's pretty much what it is. Yeah, Ray, DiBiase did not have his music yet. I think it would be a few more months. I don't think he had it at WrestleMania either, if I remember correctly. Marty's in at number 3, by the way, Dropkick and Ted. I think like $1 Million Mans and Hacksaws and even Big Boss Mans, I think would all kind of come around the same time. Because Bossman was coming out to Slick's Jive Soul Bro. But he'd have some music right after that, so... Or right when he turned face. Yeah, DiBiase just 360'd Marty there on a clothesline. Marty was the captain of the Rockers. Many people would not disagree. Nice. Flying elbow. Wow, and another one gone. DiBiase's by himself again. I wonder what the talent was thinking at the time, being told, hey, we're going to set up Hogan and Warrior in this match. Even they must have been like, holy shit, it's going to be a big deal. Oh my. Jake comes out. I didn't realize Jake came this quick. He's got his music. He was so over. Jake was so over. Look at the crowd. That's a pop, and the fans know it too because they know they're going to get 2 full minutes of this. This is our WrestleMania match. This was a great feud. And like I said, WrestleMania 6, go back and watch it back. Think about all of those matches. Think about all those matches and what we got in the ring. Sure, you know, there's lots of great Matt Hogan Warrior and Demolition win the titles back were all great moments, but in the ring, I think just the best, most competitive overall match, even though it ended in a countout, was DiBiase and Jake. Unless I'm forgetting a big one on that show, but I don't think I am. God, love that. Short arm, short armor. Two of the most capable pro wrestlers of their era in a feud in 1990. Pretty awesome. And that bag is definitely moving down there, too. Damien is getting antsy. Who is it? Oh, it's Randy Savage. Look at this, guys. Look at the history Randy has with both of these guys. This is our WrestleMania 4 main event. Randy Savage and DiBiase, and Savage and Jake are about to reverse roles in a couple of years. With Jake being an evil, vicious piece of shit, and Randy Savage being a babyface. So look at this here. This is very interesting. Maybe this is where the whole feud started from, when Jake got pissed how aggressive Savage was with him in the Royal Rumble. Savage wearing the headband is very mid-'80s Savage too, which I liked. It's very Memphis Savage. It's very early WWE Savage. He'd wear a bandana a lot, but the headband was a throwback, and I liked it. He looked like Macho here, you know? He just... I don't know if I've even mentioned this before. I think I have. But I see years in color for some reason, as colors. And I always see 1990 as like a blue or teal color. And like basically what Savage is wearing. That's how I like picture 1990 in my head. So he's even out there wearing 1990, early 90s colors. Very loud, very bright. Headband on. Tan, oiled up muscles. Fucking Macho Man. The dude's exquisite. Oh, look at the Hall of Famers in here. Jesus Christ. It's DiBiase, Jake, and Savage in the ring, and here comes Piper, who's got... Jesus, he's got history with a lot of these guys here. No, Pipers are taking both out. Boom. Piper and Savage, very few WWE run-ins with those two, but they did work a few times in WCW. Look at this. Oh my God, my heart is so full. 4 of my favorites of all goddamn time in there mixing it up. Oh my God. Oh, look. Oh, Piper tried to do the thing where they backed up. And then, yeah. Holy shit. That's my entire childhood in the ring right now. It's pretty incredible. Piper and Jake. Or Piper and Savage in one corner. Jake and DiBiase on the other. Now they're trying to get Macho out. We've got managers there. We have Virgil on the outside. We have Sherry on the outside. We got Sherry's current squeeze and her future squeeze in the ring right now. Sherry would abandon Macho Man in about a year or so and join up with DiBiase. Whoa! Piper was almost eliminated. I don't know if he was supposed to go over there or not. All right, let's see who else is coming down. I hope it's a legend and not like Blake Beverly. That's the Warlord, okay. He's a big one. He's a big feller, but he ain't the legend status of these other guys. Warlord was a lot of muscle. When I met him last year, he introduced himself as his real name, which I thought was awesome. I'm like, you're the Warlord. Call yourself the Warlord. Come on, Jake. Hold on a little longer. Look at Virgil. What's he doing? If I ever have like a butler, I'm going to have him dress exactly how Virgil's dressed. Like sleeveless. I want him serving all my guests that way. He doesn't even have to be muscular. Just get a dude and dress him up in that. Bragg and Sherry just screaming. Yeah, so this year the managers are allowed to be out there, which is weird. I don't think that was the case in the first year. And I feel like they made a big deal about that at one year as well, where they're like, managers can't be there. Brat! Oh my. I mean, you just get the Warlord out of there and you got one hell of a Hall of Fame class in there. You got Brett. You got Savage, my 1 and 2. Look at there. My number 2 is holding my number 1. Oh, right hand to Savage. I love Brett around this time. The babyface run of the Hart Foundation. I mean, it's Jake and DiBiase and Savage and Piper and Brett and Warlord. Brett's only got the one heart on his trunks. Is only one of them born so far? Whichever one of them kids, Dallas or whatever. I think they were all alive by then. Leo, the HBK Warlord steroid story, yeah, rings a bell. Robert Spahn, yeah, the first person, not the first person to bring that up tonight. They should have went with the original idea of Perfect winning. He was really hot at the time before they stupidly served him to Beefer. Weren't likely selling Perfect beating Hogan, so give him this. Yeah, I kind of agree. I think maybe part of the reason why Beefcake beat Perfect, though, at WrestleMania is because they knew Perfect was going to win that Intercontinental title tournament. And it might give Beefcake and Perfect a return opportunity for Perfect to beat him in a title match. And I think that was probably the plan for SummerSlam had Beefcake not gotten injured and they replaced him with Kerry Von Erich. But I feel like Perfect and Hogan's feud was fun, but I'm not sure if it was like main event of a pay-per-view worthy at the time for where they were at the time. On paper, it looks like a main event, but in terms of 1990 WWE, I don't know if that was going to pack out the Sky Dome. So Warriors what they did, but I kind of agree with you and everybody else that said Perfect should have won this. I agree. But you got to think about the political issue with Hogan as well. Vince has told Hogan or asked Hogan, hey, I want you to put over Ultimate Warrior. So, oh no, is Jake going to go out? There goes Jake. So I think the little Hogan ego stroking there by Vince, give him a nice little soft handy J in the Royal Rumble victory before you put over the Warrior was probably a factor as well. But that's all me speculating. I have no idea. Just in retrospect, I feel like it might be that way. I love this Bad News Brown and Brett rekindling their shit. Oh no, come on. One thing specific about this Royal Rumble 2 that I've noticed is the crowd really is hot. They had a couple of shows like this. One of my favorite SummerSlams, my favorite SummerSlam is SummerSlam 1990 for that very reason, that condensed, super hot, electric spectrum crowd. There was just something about it, and I feel like Orlando's got a little bit of that energy too. They're definitely not quiet. They haven't been quiet for any of this show at all, even the boring matches. Here comes Dusty to another enormous pop. Everybody's getting pops. It's like TNN out here. They got pop. Right after Savage. I love the way Savage sold those. Oh, that was a shitty one. But I did love the way Savage would sell the Bionic. I love the way Savage sold everything. He had a different way of bumping. Oh. Savage loved the full extension over the top rope. Ricky Steamboat did that to him at WrestleMania 3. He's had lots of moments where he's been bumped in that specific way over the top rope. Shane McMahon and Joey Morella, Savage is telling you to leave. You need to listen to them. Who is that blonde feller out there at ringside with Howard Finkel? I'm trying to see who that is. Grab another cold one. Oh, man. A Hart Savage feud would have been great. If none of you have ever seen that 1988 Saturday Night's Main Event, or 1987, I think it's late 87, match between Savage and Brett, check it out. It's really good. They're counting in the corner, but they're also counting the clock. Oh, Andre. What sucks about this, I remember thinking this at the time, I was kind of hoping that we might get Andre and Hogan in the ring one more time. And this would have been a good way to do it. Because Hogan and Andre really had nothing to do with each other after WrestleMania, or after 1988. Right after that SummerSlam match. With the Mega Powers and Mega Bucks, Hogan and Andre were done. Andre's going to dump Warlord. Look at Heenan pulling down Mr. Fuji. You know, these guys had some one-on-one matches around this time that are out there. And both guys wrestled. Heenan and Fuji were both pretty fun wrestlers in their own right. Fuji and his Maki Ito finish, and Bobby Heenan was a Ray Stevens bumper. They were tremendous. Wow, Dusty and Andre. That's pretty cool. Dusty, Andre, and Piper. I'm just being Andre. Oh, look, Dusty and Piper punching away on Andre. It was weird for me to see, like, Andre's gear or trunks have they're like navy blue. They're not black. I always thought that was weird. I'm like, I prefer my heel Andre in black. If you're babyface, wear whatever color you want. But heel Andre should be in black. Because black means bad. It means you're bad. I mean, okay, maybe Orlando's crazy, because when the Red Rooster gets a pop, maybe the action isn't good, maybe the people are just stupid. That could be a possibility. Oh, Piper almost over. Oh, okay, look at here. This is Bad News and Piper. Boom. And Bad News, this is probably all what sets up WrestleMania 6. Look at Shane. Up, and he pulled out. Okay, yeah, I see. And then they're going to brawl to the back, which is exactly what would happen in their WrestleMania match. Wow, DiBiase almost going out. And of course, that WrestleMania 6 match between the two is the infamous match where Piper, for some reason, painted half of his body black. Which, even 34 years later, makes no sense. There's no way to skew it or look at it to where you could understand where Piper was coming from. Because, I mean, it certainly wasn't about race. This feud had nothing to do with that. These are just two guys that started brawling after the Royal Rumble, so that has nothing to do with it. So, what the fuck? I don't understand. Like, this is a feud that could happen between any two guys who just mix it up in the Royal Rumble, and we've seen feuds develop out of Royal Rumble matches countless times in the past. So why are you painting yourself? I love Piper, but Jesus. None of that made any sense to me. Andre and Brett working together. They were the final two people in the WrestleMania 2 Battle Royal. Blue trunks and Afro Andre. Oh, yeah. That's true. That's when those were my first memories of Andre, was that specific look, the long hair. Here comes Axe. Mike Witt's got $2 for me. Remember when Jimmy Hart got his butt branded? Oh, yeah. Who did that to him? Who branded Jimmy? Was it Terry Funk's brand that somebody got a hold of and branded Jimmy? I think that's what it was. Look at Axe. Yeah, this is Axe going after Andre the Giant. And I still haven't confirmed that in my head, but I think Demolition is still tag team champions right now. I think. Because the Colossal Connection did the interview backstage. They weren't holding titles. Doesn't mean they weren't champs, but I think the match happens after this. Yeah, the Machine's going at it. Good point, comments from me. Robert Spahn, I still have mine. I still have my Andre action figure, blue trunks and big hair. They did release a short hair version, but I got the blue. Or the long hair. If you're a fan of those LJN characters, those action figures from the 80s, the big rubber ones, I have 1 million of them. The owner of Fightful, Jimmy Van, you can probably find it on YouTube. He has got a tour of his collection of those, and he basically has everything. He has all of them, all in the box, unopened, fresh, like the Hogan one and everything. Like, the collection will give you a raging hard-on. Like, I swear to God, it's like nothing I've ever seen. And I've seen some impressive collections, but his is just crazy. So just look it up. See if you can find it on YouTube. You'll be blown away by what the man has. Haku. I think Sean might have done the tour with him. I can't remember, but I remember seeing the video and just being like, interesting crew in here. I mean, we got Haku and Dusty working on each other. We got the machines going at it in the far end, and DiBiase and Brett are on the near side here. Hall of Famers, Brett, DiBiase, Andre, Dusty. I don't think Haku and Axe are in. Haku should be in. We don't talk much about Haku, but he's right up there with Rick Martel in my mind in terms of Hall of Famers that should go in. What's up, Jay Lambo and Kelvin Sanchez? Good to see you. Yeah, Axe, Bill Eadie is at the end of his career here. Demolition is the last thing he did before retirement, so he did a lot. And as a kid, I remember the machines from Andre's suspension, and that being a big bus stop topic of conversation before school and shit. You know Andre's the other machine, right? No. Really? What do you mean? It looks nothing like him. Axe. I'm sorry, Smash. Smash. The number one pick. The number one entrant, Jesse Ventura, not the number one pick. This ain't a draft. It's the Royal Rumble. It's the royalest of rumbles. I like Demolition was my third favorite tag team of all time. Behind the Hearts and the Bulldogs. I loved them. I liked them because their ring styles weren't the same. That's what made Road Warriors good. That's what made the Hards good. A lot of teams with like contrasting styles, but Demolition and the Road Warriors weren't as obvious because they were just both big, huge, muscular, strong guys. But they did work different. Animal and Hawk were way different. In a lot of ways, the same way Axe and Barry Darsow was, because Barry Darsow could work, and Axe was more of a ground and pound guy, but Darsow could like wrestle and shit, So they were just super fun. Love their promos. Because there's always been the debate of, is Demolition a Road Warrior ripoff? They were designed to be. I mean, I think that was WWE's answer to the Road Warriors, is to kind of make their own. But they also had their own identity. It wasn't just two big guys with painted faces. They were guys with history, guys who could work, both with tag team experience. Both also, Barry Darsow came around from the same area that Road Warriors were and had run-ins with them in the past in the NWA. They were the perfect two guys to put together. Once they found him, I think one of the Moondogs was like Smash at first. Oh, God, Akeem. That outfit. His hair getting long also, too, was crazy. To me, the one-man gang was always super over the way he was. This was obnoxiously stupid. Akeem and the Giant. He's got wavy hair now and stuff. Like, it was so strange. Oh, I think Brett just went out. Brett might have gotten eliminated there. Off camera. Andre's out. Demolition eliminates Andre. Yeah, get Haku out of there too. I love when Andre would always throw a punch. When I would wrestle with my action figures, I would do the noise. Like if Andre was going to punch Hogan, I would go, I swear to God, I'm not even making it up. Yeah, Bret Hart, finally they noticed my man was thrown out. Yeah, exactly, AJ. Excellent point. I thought the same thing, too, as a kid. I thought Powers of Pain looked a lot more like the Road Warriors than Demolition did. Their face paint was similar. Their hairstyles were more similar. Their size and muscularity was more similar, where Demolition really wasn't muscular. They were just big and strong. I mean, they had muscles, but they weren't like Superfly Jimmy Snuka's muscles. That's for sure. Be right back. All right, we are back. Oh, Akeem's about to go. Good, get him out of here. That hairstyle is too much for me. Bring back the one-man gang. I mean, he'd go to WCW and have a whole career. I remember he was like U.S. champion in '95 or something in WCW. He would resurrect the gang persona. He'd drop weight too. But all this shit they were doing was... Repo Man. Hell, in WCW, they gave Barry Darsow like the Ed Leslie treatment. He was back lot bully or blacktop bully, and he was the golfer. He was a few gimmicks in WCW. There's Repo Man in WWE, Repo and shit. Because whenever a Repo Man comes to your house, that's how they dress. I've never had anything repoed, but I would assume they would, if they came, they would look exactly the way Barry Darsow did in 1992. Same Zorro mask. Guess I can turn the TV off now. Financial Truth Academy's in the house. What's up? Zombie Fighter, when you played Triple H action figure, you would do the when he did promos. That's hilarious. I briefly collected action figures from 97 to 99, but I didn't take any of them out of the box. I had a shitload of them. And then I ended up just deciding not to pursue doing that anymore, and a couple years later I sold them all off. But I think that was the only Triple H action figure I had, was a couple of those. Those ones that came out with in like 97 and 98. That's when I bought the bulk of them. I remember driving to the Toys R Us in my town like on a Sunday night at like 7:30 at night. And it was pretty empty in there. There was nobody in there. And I was like, I probably would have been 22, I guess. And I got like a stack of action, good ones too, Austins and some Rocks and everything in there. And I run into my ex-girlfriend from high school in the store. I'm like, oh, hi, how you doing? And I had a big ass stack. Just buying some toys. How have you been? Awkward, man. Canadian Earthquake. He's from Canada. Yeah, too bad we didn't get any Earthquake and Andre run-ins here. It's like, wait, don't attack me. I got to bounce on the ring first. He's got little Canadian flags all over his shit. They would drop the Canadian part of his name. Maybe one of the first earliest examples of WWE getting rid of first names. Dusty's gone. At the hands of John Tenta. So we've got Dino Bravo, Earthquake, Demolition, Haku. And who else? DiBiase and Snuka. Hungry? Have a Snukas. Wow. Is that Axe? That's Axe. Axe is gone. At the hands of Earthquake. The Canadian Earthquake. Look, even Haku's like, oh shit. Heh. You used to have to turn the lights off when The Undertaker would come out with my action figures. I used my sister's Barbies to have a women's match. One of them had to be Wendy Richter. And her entrance music was Walk Like an Egyptian by the Bangles. Had the match on one of those little tiny mini trampolines that your grandma would have in her basement. Fun times. Here comes the anvil. Going hammer those forearms into the Earthquake. Yeah, but that's Jim Neidhart, Jesse, and he plays by a different set of rules. He plays by crazy rules. Are they all going? There he goes. He's way out. They might have him. How's he going to survive that? Oh, wow, he did go down. That was a rough landing for Quaker there. He's mad. So's my tattoo. I don't remember how many Most Handsome Wrestler awards John Tenta won, but I know it was several. That dude is a fine piece of ass right there. Ladies, get in line. Because there is a waiting list to get you some of John Tenta. Sorry, Juliet. Nothing I can do about it. Yeah, DiBiase in there at number 1. I don't recall who eliminates him. Probably Hogan or Warrior. Yeah, so we're already into the 20s here, so both these guys got to be coming out any time now. This might be Hogan. Nope, it's the Warrior. Here we go. Here he comes. The crowd pop, my God. Going right after Dino Bravo. Come on. No sell. Atomic drop. Not much of a sell. And Dino Bravo is gone. Sloppy elimination, but it's still... Wow, look at Warrior and Jimmy Snuka. Going at it. I mean, otherwise you would never see Warrior and Snuka ever mix it up, ever. And this is Haku hold. These two guys in real life would beat the piss out of the Ultimate Warrior. If Haku and Snuka got Ultimate Warrior locked in a room, you're not going to want to beat Jim Hellwig in that situation. That was cool, though, seeing Haku hold Warrior for Snook at a punch. You don't see that every day. Or you wouldn't have in these days, anyway. Those are the moments in these old Royal Rumbles that I look for, just like kind of first times. First time only type of things, you know? Like, when have the three of those guys ever mixed it up at the same time? Never, ever. It's like if you grab a rock and throw it in the river, you could say, I could be the last person ever to touch this rock. No human may ever touch it again. Pew! Right in the river, there it goes. Geology buries it. Nobody ever touches it again. I like Anvil and the Warrior mixing it up. That's an interesting standoff, too. Got Haku and Snook in the other corner. Got DiBiase and Smash over here. A good one-on-one match on TV exists between $1 Million Man and Smash. Here comes the model. I think it was leading up to one of those Survivor Series shows. Here we go. Actually, come to think of it, I bet that match happened just a couple months before this, right before Survivor Series 89, because they were on opposite teams. Plus, he's fresh. All of Smash's makeup is wearing off. And if you're Warrior, you got to be in there being like, oh my God, in just a couple of minutes, like, me and Hogan are about to explode the wrestling universe. I'd have a little bit of, like, nervousness in my stomach. I'm like, oh my God, the crowd's going to shit themselves. They pop for the Red Rooster, for crying out loud. Like, what are they going to do when Hogan comes out here? Look at the model and Neidhart mixing it up. Old Strikeforce and Hart Foundation. Model is the one that submitted Neidhart in the Boston Crab when Strikeforce beat Hart Foundation for the title. Here we go. Who's it going to be? This might be the Hulkster. It's Tito. Not you, Tito. Tito Santana. You're Tito Morgan. Strikeforce going at it. I think in like 1992 or even 1991 or even now, but maybe another year or two. Maybe like 92 when neither guy was doing anything. Model was feuding with Tatanka and Tito was a matador. Put the team back together. Put Strikeforce back together for fun. See what happens. There was no other teams at the time. Really, I mean, LOD was kind of on their way out. You had the Natural Disasters. You had Money Inc. The Nasties were still kind of around. But you didn't have a division like you used to have, and having Strikeforce back together would have been fun for a fan like myself. But they never did it. Strikeforce never rose again. Yeah, Nate Dogg. I'm not sure if the aftermath of WrestleMania 6 was exactly what they wanted, but the image of it was, with Hogan kind of riding out. But Hogan was never going to have the ego that was ever going to allow him to fully pass the torch to anyone. Honky. It's Honky. I'm glad Honky didn't win it. What if it was Honky and Hogan at WrestleMania for the title in the Skydome? He probably just would have had the first, like, 10 rows filled, and that's it. Honky and the Warrior. Look at that. Honky, DiBiase, Snuka, Tito, Martel, Haku, and Anvil. I really feel like Hogan has to be the next guy because we're running out of time here. Neidhart's gone. That's it. Finally, $1 Million Man is gone. I knew it was going to be either Hogan or Warrior. Warrior gets him out. I don't know how long he was in for, but 40-something minutes, probably. Oh, yeah. I was about to say Mr. Perfect's number 30. All right, this has got to be Hulk. You would think. $25. Yep. And Hogan is coming in, and the Warrior is also in the ring. And look at Snuka going right after him. They used to be pals. Some of my earliest Hogan era memories was with Snuka. Because Snuka would have been the man, and Snuka's out. Hogan eliminated Snuka. I think Snuka would have been the man had Hogan not came around. He was probably their most over star. Oh. Oh, there goes Haku. Snuka and Haku. Hogan eliminates. And I feel like it's going to be fast eliminations here to get Hogan and Warrior by themselves. Hogan's taking out Honky. Tito and Martel, I feel like, are both going to go. All right, they're trying. Oh, Hogan's finally tearing his shirt off. Oh, there goes Martel and Santana. Or just Santana. So now it's Martel and Warrior, Hogan and Honky. This should have been the final two, was Hogan and Warrior. But I guess they just wanted to tease you. And I feel like they might also want to time it to where they got plenty of time before the next entrant comes out. So maybe we get another one come out before these two guys go face to face. No, maybe not, though. They're both in the corner. I feel like they're both going to... No, here we go. Here comes somebody. So I feel like as soon as this person comes out, everybody's going to get eliminated, and it's going to be Hogan and Warrior. And it's Shawn Michaels. Oh, God, poor Shawn. Look at Shawn getting in the ring with all these guys. Honky's going. He's like, Hogan, Warrior, you guys think you have big egos now? Wait till you see me in 97. Up. And there we go. Oh, no. Wow. I mean, I think even Bobby Heenan looks like he's shitting himself out there. Like, oh, gosh. This was so good. I mean, this was huge. Nobody moves. Warrior moved that time. It's weird hearing Shivani call this, too. This should be Gorilla. Down goes Hogan. Double clothesline. Look at Heenan. I mean, Heenan's got his hand over his mouth. Like, this is a pretty big moment. And it definitely was to me as a fan. Like, all I could do is listen to this on the scrambled feed. But I'm like, oh my God. Shane McMahon gets to be literally standing at the edge of the ring for that whole thing. It's dull yellow versus bright yellow. Yeah, Warrior's very much 90s fluorescent. Hogan's still rocking his 80s yellow. Look at the Barbarian. He can just... Yeah, he can just like, oh, can drop some elbows on these guys. Barbarian's like, I'll eliminate both these bitches and I'll win this Rumble. Okay, so Fuji is still with the Barbarian. Barbarian is on the verge of being sold to Heenan. And Warrior would go with, or not Warrior, Warlord. I think would go to Slick. Wow, Rick Rude's out. They didn't even have a countdown. Look, he is out way too early. I don't know what went on there. Rude hit the ring, and then the 10-second clock came up. He did. He came in 10 seconds early. Yeah. Yeah, I listened to several pay-per-views that way. Not all. I was also lucky enough to order a lot of pay-per-views, but some of them I had to listen to scrambled. I was able to watch all the WrestleManias, but occasionally a SummerSlam or a Royal Rumble. Mostly Rumbles. I have memories of the scrambled feeds. God, Jesse is going to be that way for this whole feud. Why would he save Hogan? Why would he do this? And all that shit. Because they're both baby faces. So many interactions on TV where they'd think about hitting each other, but then not do it, you know. There was a lot of that for like 2.5 months. And Warrior and Hogan, too, was very simple in the book. It was just a lot of, they were doing the same thing to each other. Even spots, even Steven all the way up until the end. And there it goes. And Hogan eliminates the Warrior. Hogan kind of eliminated Randy Savage the same way the previous year, if I remember right. Savage got pissed. Warrior's back in. And he just runs away. He's an idiot. Now, Jesse's a shit stirrer. Because Barbarian and Rude had Warrior teetering, and then Hogan just came in with a clothesline and finished the job. He didn't break any rules there. Hercules! I really liked Hercules as a heel, as a kid. Chain Hercules, not Afro and weird outfit Hercules. But the chain version of him, his WWE days. Look at there, Hogan and Herc. They had some run-ins back in the 87 there and 86. It's cool to see them working together. Herc wearing his powder blue was weird. I guess because he was a face now, but I liked him in black. Yeah, Jesse, exactly, Leo. Jesse would do the same thing with Hogan and Savage. He loved it. He lived for it. Big scooper to Barbarian from Hulk. You don't see a good scooper these days. There's another one. I think Barbarian's got some fluorescent green undies going on there. I think Barbarian's a thong man. I do. Hercules versus Zeus would have been fun. Why didn't they do that? Who's left to come in? Just Perfect? Robert, I can understand that Boss Man and Akeem opinion. For me, I did not like at all the Akeem character, so I was fine with it. I thought Akeem was so stupid. Here is Perfect, and he's sprinting to the ring. The perfect number. I watched, it was either Superstars or Challenge, whatever it was, but I watched the transition episode live. Or watched it when it aired. When they're doing the segment with, what I think is going to be Slick and the one-man gang, and out comes Akeem. And I remember just as a kid being utterly confused. I'm like, what now? Like, what are we doing? Like, I just couldn't grasp what was even happening. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? I'm too young to be on mushrooms. So I was just very turned off right from the word go with Akeem. Was not a fan. This pretty sexy-ass Final Four here. Perfect, Rude, Hogan, Herc. Oh, there goes Herc. He's out. And now it's the two Minnesota boys versus Venice Beach, California. Or Tampa, Florida, I guess would be more accurate. It's the beach. It's the ocean versus ice fishing. It's deep sea fishing versus ice fishing. It's sunsets versus igloos. It's hot toddies versus margaritas. It's stouts versus Coors Lights. Out Hulk. Oh, perfect. It's bratwurst versus barbecue. Ooh. Come on, look out. You got to get Rick Rude out of there. Oh, and Perfect's going to pull down the ropes. Holy shit. Oh, that sucks. Rick's pissed. And it's the right to, at least for the time, because this was Hogan's closest rival with everything he had been doing with Perfect. And Perfect and Genius would help play a role in getting that Mania match between Hogan and Warrior done, too. Now we're going to see it, the Perfect Plex. And it was the main event, too. It was the same thing they did in 89. In 89, they used the main event, like a February primetime special, tag team match with Hogan and Savage as partners to set up WrestleMania 5. And here, a year later, they do the exact same thing with Warrior and Hogan. Although they start it in the Rumble. Oh! And he's up. He tried a Perfect Plex Hogan. Well, I think Perfect is about to be a bad day for you, pal. Sorry. See these punches you're throwing? You can't hurt them. You can't hurt somebody that takes their vitamins. Big slingshot spot, which Perfect loves to do. Looks like Dolph Ziggler in there bumping, doesn't he? He was saved by the post. Yeah, if it wouldn't been for the post. Oh, no. And I love that. And Perfect bumps all the way over the top corner instead of just like standard over the top rope. That little extra effort from Mr. Hennig. My mad respect, sir. Hogan's like, give me that thing. We'll live forever. Well, it's been 40 years and the fucker's still here. Hogan, that's very kind of him. Like, he folded it and gave it back. I mean, I have lost all respect for Hulk Hogan. I do not like him as a human being at all, but that was really cool. Even folded it all nice and nice. Handed it right back to the fan instead of stealing it or throwing it out into the other area of the crowd or not giving a shit. He actually had, like, common courtesy and decency. Look at that. Hogan's like, I got to dance and pose now because I will not be doing that at WrestleMania. I will be standing in that motorized ring, driving my loser ass back to the locker room. But Hogan even, like, he's done all those interviews and said, oh, that was as soon as the fans were looking at me leaving and not at the Warrior, I knew the company had made the wrong decision. They didn't make the wrong decision. That was an awesome WrestleMania match moment. The build leading up to it as a kid, as the WWE's core audience at the time, was very interesting and intriguing. And the match, I thought, went about as well as it could. You know, with a shocking finish and Warrior winning the title. There was no bad decision was made there. It was kind of maybe in like how Warrior was used as champion and Hogan's political influence in Warrior's run. I think that was more the problem than the actual decision to put Warrior over, because that was fucking awesome WrestleMania. One of my favorites. Trying to do the Hogan poses. Rodrigo, yeah, have I posted the picture of my Hulk Hogan cake? Because I did. I think it was for my 10th birthday. They got me a Hulk Hogan cake. Or my mom did. Okay, Hogan, wrap it up. Get the hook. But look, I mean, most of the people are still there. You can see some people leaving, but for the most part, they want to see Hogan dance around, show his muscles. So it's what the audience wanted back in those days. So yeah, that was fun. And just like that, y'all, the 1990s are in the books. We have done them all. I need to make some sort of compilation reaction video maybe of all the finishes in all of these matches and to the Royal Rumbles, and maybe post those over on the second channel. I do have about 4 or 5 second channel and Patreon videos in the works right now. I'm just kind of editing them when I get the chance. And I'm going to be working on stuff this week. You got a lot of me. Tomorrow night, we're going to be back after Monday Night Raw. We're going to talk about what Seth Rollins said about his injury and what happens tomorrow night on the Go Home show to the Royal Rumble. On Tuesday, you're going to get a special video on Hulkamania. On Friday, we're going to be here for a Friday Winged Eagle and predicting the Royal Rumble. And then on Saturday, watch party and review watching Royal Rumble together. And then 1 week from tonight, we're going to be off because it's Championship Sunday for football. Lions and Chiefs are both playing, and I'm going to be watching that. But 1 week from tomorrow, we will be here for the post-Royal Rumble Monday Night Raw. So you will be seeing a whole lot of me. And thank you so much for being here tonight. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button out the door. Subscribe if you have not yet already. And I will catch you guys tomorrow night after Monday Night Raw. We are going to have a lot to talk about, I have a feeling.